Ask me the hard-hitting questions.
This week on 60 Minutes, we reported on the WNBA, and we interviewed Caitlin Clark.
In a startling revelation that stunned the basketball community, Caitlin Clark finally spoke out about her new contract in Europe.
Now playing for the Indiana Fever, she's ushered in a new wave of WNBA fans. TV ratings and attendance have skyrocketed.
Finds Clark from the logo.
You know how crazy these crowds get, though, when they see that logo 3.
Yeah, they go crazy.
Feels good to hit those?
Occasionally, it's not too bad.
So
I don't mind it.
Seriously though, so you got the ball in your hand.
Yeah.
You're crossing midcourt. What's the decision making? Pass, pull up. How does that work?
The WNBA's Rookie of the Year announced her choice for the upcoming season on Instagram after days of spreading rumors and intense debate, leaving fans and sports analysts eagerly awaiting her big reveal. Caitlin Clark's social media pages were silent after the Indiana Fever's devastating playoff loss to the Connecticut Sun, leaving fans and analysts wondering if she would make a comeback, if her amazing rookie season was only the beginning, or if she would take her extraordinary talent somewhere else.
That's an absolute dime.
And then after that, usually somebody picks me up, but if not, you just gotta launch it and hope for the best, you know? Hope it goes in, and let it fly. That's what people love. So you gotta give them what they want.
Clark broke down the mechanics and biomechanics behind that signature shot.
There we go. Okay.
It's the same motion, basically, right? But you're just using more leg?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like people probably wouldn't consider me very big to play in the WNBA. Like, I'm not quite 6 foot, like, not the strongest. So I think just, having good balance is definitely the most important thing. I think a lot of really good shooters would probably tell you the same thing. But yeah, using your legs, like, it can't be all upper body, it's gotta be your legs, so.
A few days ago, the Indiana Fever star broke her silence by reflecting on her first season in an emotional Instagram post. The WNBA was rocked by her heartfelt remarks. The mystery grew every day.
Caitlin Clark, last night, finished up one of the most remarkable years of basketball playing in quite some time. Because we could talk about her WNBA season, and we will, but her final season at Iowa was something to behold, and she went right from that into the WNBA season. I mean, right away. As soon as her college season ended, just days later, she was drafted by the Indiana Fever. And I just remember being at the Combine in early March. That was the talk of the town. In addition to what we were seeing out of the Pacers and the Combine being there, it's like Caitlin Clark's coming here, the Big Ten.
Stay tuned as we examine the implications of Caitlin's injury for the WNBA and the Indiana Fever.
Defenders on the handoff go with Caitlin Clark. That's why Aaliyah Boston can make that spin move and attack the basket. So the impact of Caitlin and Kelsey Mitchell on the floor opens things up.
I miss doing women's sports with you. We don't get to do it as often as we used to. So here's the thing. Caitlin Clark is going to be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, there's 2 things that stand out to me. She just played this team, right? And so she understands the athleticism, the footwork, the speed of Dejanay Carrington. And she's just in her 4th WNBA game as a professional athlete. Even as a rookie, she's been guarded by the best players so far. She's still drawing double teams, and I thought Indiana did a better job of playing fast. I thought in her first few games, too much pound on the rock. This is not Iowa Part B varsity version. This is WNBA basketball. She's moving faster. Her teammates are doing a better job of finding her. She's getting looks off the move where she doesn't have to work as hard. And so it's only up from here. This was a great sign. Her most efficient night, turnovers were down.
Let me just say this too, because we're talking about the Indiana Fever and we have the Pacers that are playing in the Eastern Conference Finals, right?
Her Instagram post marked the start of a season that drastically altered what it meant to be a WNBA rookie. He described a player that absolutely exceeded expectations and transformed basketball, leaving everyone in awe of her talent and accomplishment.
ESPN are showing the game last night in which the Fever got swept by the Connecticut Sun last night. They showed a montage of her year. And they showed a montage of her year when she passed Pistol Pete Maravich. She owns the record for most points scored men's and women's Division I. and she set every record you possibly can set for Iowa, for women's basketball.
In her tweet, Clark thanked everyone who helped her fulfill her childhood ambition, saying, "I'm filled with gratitude as I reflect on the past year or my life. See you all in year 2." Additionally, Clark affirmed what many supporters and pundits have been anticipating since her team's playoff elimination, that she was staying put, which is what made her season so incredible.
Well, I'm super excited to be here. I've never had to give an opening statement before, so this is a first for me and a large crowd. But like I said, I'm super happy to be here. Thank you, the Fever, the Pacers. This is a dream come true. Like, these are the moments you dream of. Obviously, Tamika Catchings is here. Like, that's pretty incredible. Somebody I grew up idolizing. Yes. But like I said, after I got drafted, like, I can't think of a better place for myself to start my career. A place that loves basketball, supports women's basketball, and an organization that really does things the right way, has championship pedigree. So I'm just very thankful that they have a belief in me. And obviously my parents are here today. My 2 brothers aren't here. My little brother had to go back to school. He actually missed his flight out of New York City after the draft. So I think he did it on purpose, but thankful for them, and, you know, couldn't be happier to be here. So thank all of you for coming, and I can't wait to get started.
In her tweet, Clark thanked everyone who helped her fulfill her childhood ambition, saying, "I'm filled with gratitude as I reflect on the past year or my life. See you all in year 2." Additionally, Clark affirmed what many supporters and pundits have been anticipating since her team's playoff elimination, that she was staying put, which is what made her season so incredible.
Caitlin, Greg Doyle, Indy Star. Real quick, let me do this.
You like that?
I like that you're here. I like that you're here.
I do that at my family after every game, so
Okay,
it's
well,
pretty cool.
let's start doing it to me, and we'll get along just fine. So, question is, you didn't have to turn pro. I kind of thought you would no matter what, but how much did Indiana have the no-water-all pick? Because of the things you've said, and the driving distance to Iowa, just everything. I'm just wondering what role that might have played.
Yeah, it definitely played a huge role, and I actually played at the exact same time as the draft lottery on the night it happened. I'm not sure exactly who we were playing, but I was hoping that Indiana got the first pick. It would have made my life a lot better. So when I saw that, I was pretty excited. And, you know, obviously that's not every single reason of, you know, why I wanted to.
Let's look at the figure she shared, which left analysts and statisticians scrambling to describe it. The Indiana Fever guard scored 19 points a game on average, in addition to having incredible stats for a rookie: 8.4 assists, 6 rebounds, and 1.3 steals per game. Her 337 assists broke the previous record for the most in a single season, proving that she can help the players around her. But there's more. Caitlin Clark's exceptional vision and playmaking abilities were further demonstrated when she finished a single game with 19 assists. Additionally, she became the first rookie to ever register 2 triple-dash doubles. Or put it briefly, Caitlin Clark turned the league into her personal playground, and her impact went beyond the numbers. The struggling Indiana Fever team welcomed Clark.
Caitlin Clark's Rookie of the Year odds have become so high that there is currently only one sports book that will even allow you to vote on Rookie of the Year. MGM Bet is currently the only platform that you can vote on Rookie of the Year, and they have Caitlin Clark's odds at negative 10,000. And to put the icing on the cake, just last night, Caitlin Clark made her 86th three-point field goal of the season, which set a new record for three-pointers made by a rookie in WNBA history. The previous record was set by Ryan Howard in 2022.
Under her leadership, the team achieved its first 20-win season since 2015 with a 20-20 league record. More importantly, the Fever qualified for the postseason for the first time in 8 years. Fever supporters now have fresh hope thanks to Caitlin Clark.
The WNBA record for threes in a season is currently held by Sabrina, and that number is 128 threes. So with the Fever having 9 more regular season games left, and I'm not sure if this is just like a regular season record or includes playoffs, but Caitlin Clark would have to average a little over 4 three-pointers in a game in order to break this record. It's doable, and especially if their team goes into the playoffs. But not only with this 3-point record, with her assist record, with her triple-double record, and just the impact that Caitlin Caitlin Clark has had on the WNBA and on the Fever team this season, there has still been some debate on who will become Rookie of the Year. We talked about Angel Reese a couple videos ago and how she is holding her own on the rebounding side, and she is shattering records, both WNBA and NBA records, with the amount of rebounds that she grabs per game. But if you look at these two players in their totality, it really is a no-brainer as who deserves Rookie of the Year this season.
In addition to helping the Indiana Fever win games, her engaging on-court demeanor won over fans, boosting attendance and merchandise sales. All of a sudden, the squad was a must-watch on TV.
Clark, 24, 10, and 10, her second career triple-double. What stood out to you about the way she got this triple-double in your eyes?
For me, what I liked from Clark and quite honestly the Indiana Fever team is that even though they entered halftime with 11 turnovers, they were able to get that composure back, and they actually turned over Los Angeles, the Sparks, more turnovers than they had. So I love the composure that we're seeing. I love that this is a team that's still growing, and I think they're starting to figure out who their players are, who their go-to players are. Even when you have an Odyssey Sims that drops 20 points for a Sparks team that, has been struggling this season, Indiana found a way to win. They found their composure throughout this game, and I think that bodes well for them, knowing that they already punched their ticket to the playoffs.
Clark showed that she could assist players around her in nearly every game by providing opportunities for them to score points and opening up the court in ways that defenses couldn't stop.
Anyone that was listening to the broadcast, you heard that this backcourt has been the hottest thing in the WNBA since the Olympic break. And I do think that time together with this crew, that trio, as you mentioned, has been critical. We heard so many veterans, retired players, active players say that Caitlin Clark and likely the Indiana Fever were gonna need time. It wasn't gonna be instantaneous like your, instant coffee that you drink in the morning. No, we want this to be a nice Cuban coffee with a nice punch in there. And I think that's what we're seeing. It's not that this is not a talented team. You've got two back-to-back #1.
She was almost universally selected as the WNBA Rookie of the Year, and the awards came in as fast as the records were broken. Angel Reese's domination on the court for the Indiana Fever is further demonstrated by the fact that she garnered the most votes of any player during the All-Star game.
Ryan Rucco said, Caitlin Clark is possessed. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. At times, she was unconscious. For me, watching that game, it's one of those games where you can't even be mad. Like, you can't even be mad at Caitlin Clark. You can't hate on her. You can't say anything negative about the way she performed. There's not one thing you could take away from that and be like, oh, she was this, or oh, she didn't do that. She checked every single box. That's why Kim Mulkey hugged her so aggressively at the end of the game, because it's like, dang, you did great. I can't stand it, but I love you for it. Like, Kim Mulkey even gave her an aggressive hug when the game is over. That's how you know it was real. You know how you dap somebody up just aggressively because you're like, yeah, that was great. I can't stand you for it, but I can't say anything bad about it. She was poised. She was under control. She manipulated the defense left and right. She got to her spot.
It was another proof that she could enthrall onlookers while defending herself against the most powerful players in the league.
I think the thing is that what LSU got themselves into trouble is they let Caitlin Clark get to her spots early. You know she likes to drive the ball to the left, and when she drives to the left, she's looking to pull up. I don't know, Andrea, look, you follow the women's game. Why on earth would Kim Mulkey instruct her guys to go under the screen and not fight over the top? I'm not giving Caitlin Clark that kind of space. What she did was confirm what we already knew. There's a reason why she's the all-time leading scorer. There's a reason why she's top 3 in a...
Her achievements were made even more impressive by her capacity to manage pressure after joining the league right out of college with a lot of hype. She exceeded expectations rather than merely meeting them.
No question, the race for Rookie of the Year is over. After what they did to the Sky, after they won their 4th straight, after they're over 500, they were just 500 the other day for the first time in 2 years when they were 2-2. They doing their thing. And Caitlin Clark, last 12 games, 23.4 points or 47% shooting. Second leading scorer in the entire WNBA behind the monster that is Asia Wilson, who's going to be league MVP and deserves it, by the way. The reigning two-time champion, who probably is going to three-peat in my estimation. She is just something special. Best player in the world as far as I'm concerned. Okay?
Drew compares her to players like Larry Bird because of her poise in the spotlight, her clutch performances, and her leave-it-all-on-the-court mindset. The most significant aspect of Caitlin Clark's season was perhaps how it changed the perception of what is possible for a rookie in the WNBA. She joined the likes of Stephen Curry and the great Kobe Bryant by not just raising the bar but also sending it high.
NBA players shouldn't be thankful to Michael Jordan because guess what? There were great players that were in the sport before they ever arrived, who did everything they could to make the NBA what it was. But it was when those brothers arrived that it took on an extra dimension and elevated to another level. I'm just looking at some of the numbers here. When we talk about league attendance, the Indiana Fever, all right, with Caitlin Clark, led the league in attendance both home and on the road. Fever averaged 17,035 at home, 15,000 on the road. Attendance for the entire league up nearly 50% this year, according to data from across the timeline. And Indiana leads all teams with an average attendance of, like I said, of 17,035. Merchandise sales are up 450%. I'm gonna repeat that. Merchandise sales are up 450% for the WNBA, according to Fanatics. So take those things into consideration. Yes, we're looking at the unanimous choice for AP Rookie of the Year, a first-team all WNBA, okay? Fourth in the league in MVP voting, and we see all of these things. Certainly, she's going to be a great player.
It almost seems unjust that future rookies will be held to the same high standard as her, but as Clark's fame increased, so did the target on her back. The amazing player who was dominating the WNBA was about to face challenges that would put her willpower to the test.
Number 2, Kennedy Carter. This one has received more headlines and attention than maybe any other play in the entire league this year.
Okay.
All right. There's been plenty of dissecting about their relationship. Certainly we talked about it in this show, that Kennedy Carter has in the past. What a great year for her, by the way. Probably could get comeback player of the year. That she has in the past made some questionable decisions when it comes to keeping her cool. In fact, I'm pretty sure she leads the league in flagrants, or she did at some point. In fact, she's got 4 flagrant fouls this year alone. She's a bit of a chippy player.
Okay.
I think we can all agree this was not a basketball play. Caitlin Clark said so herself. That wasn't a basketball play. Looked like a lot of frustration, looked a bit retaliatory based on a play that had happened earlier where Kennedy felt like Caitlin was hit her and fouled her hard as well. We've already agreed that that one was not a basketball play.
Her record-breaking had captivated fans, but it also sparked intense scrutiny and shocking controversy. Appreciate you watching my real video news. Instead of being Clark's rewarding moment, the playoffs turn became the epicenter of a divisive maelstrom that would engulf the basketball league.